So slightly further away than usual, Lucas. You have just finished moving house, and your first port of call was getting the internet set up to join me on a call.
It was, yes. So I do apologise if I am a little bit more echoey than usual. I haven't been able to soundproof it all yet.
Yep. And I can see, audience at home, you can't see this, but I can see that Lucas has put behind him a blue screen. You try to rip off my gimmick, mate?
I am trying to hide the not decorated office behind me.
That sounds to me like someone's trying to rip off my gimmick. These are things that people have wondered this. I still have the original green screen. It's just under my stairs. Because I didn't want to put my green screen, next to my bed. Because that probably sets, sets bad expectations. Someone walks into your room and sees a camera and a green screen pointed at your bed. It's like, tonight, love, we're having sex on the moon. But on to the intro now, and the Predator series is one that has slowly decreased in quality over the years. For context, I wrote the script this video is based on in 2020 before the movie Prey came out, so that statement is not entirely accurate because Prey whips all kinds of ass. Prior to Prey being released, the Predator sequels got consistently worse as they went along, something I feel has a lot to do with the fact they contain less and less Arnold Schwarzenegger. Something that's kind of surprising when you consider that Arnold Schwarzenegger has been trying to reprise the role that he had in the first Predator movie for decades, and movie studios just won't let him.
You son of a bitch!
I should get round to watching Predator at some point.
Well, you should, Lucas. But that's the thing, though. I feel like your job on Fact Fiend, you pretty much watched all my favourite movies anyway, because you were editing them and had to get the clips.
It's true.
As someone who's not seen Predator from start to finish, what do you know about Predator?
I know that the Predator, obviously in the first movie, hunts a bunch of really butch men down in a jungle,
Yes.
and then it's just down to Arnold versus Predator at the end, right?
Yes. And Lucas, you're in quite a unique position because as someone who's not seen the movie start to finish, you get to watch it with the gift of hindsight, and that hindsight is that the movie is a deliberate deconstruction of 80s action movies, the kind that Arnold Schwarzenegger himself would actually star in. And the first half of the movie is a typical 80s action movie. You have one-liners, you have
Stick around.
explosions, you have all the buff burly guys firing endless machine guns into the forest.
Knock, knock.
And then one by one, they all get slaughtered by an alien creature from beyond the stars they cannot see or defeat. And it slowly dawns on all of the people present that, for all their bravado, all their guns, there's nothing they can do.
Not a thing. Not a fucking trace. No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
Apart from just slather themselves in mud.
Exactly, yeah, and that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger realises that I can't beat this creature through raw brute strength. I have to use guile. I have to use my training. And people out there might be thinking, wait, Lucas hasn't watched Predator? He should probably go watch Predator. And if you would like to make Lucas watch Predator, we have a second channel called Wiki Weekends. That's part of the reason Fact Fiend's back, so we can promote Wiki Weekends. And Wiki Weekends has a Patreon where once a month myself and Lucas put some suggestions up for topics we might cover. And one of the things Lucas likes to do is put up suggestions for movies he's not seen yet, because you have a weirdly big blind spot for movies in the 80s, right? It was a bunch of movies in the 80s you've not seen. You've not seen Predator, Alien, Rocky, Rambo, although you recently watched Rambo and we made a video about that.
Yeah, it's almost as if I wasn't born.
It's basically, you've not watched half the movies that I have posters of on my wall. For example, just off camera is a poster for the film Terminator. So I've just got the T-850 looking at me when I'm over my bed. Behind the camera, I have another poster for another 80s movie for RoboCop. And Weirdly enough, all around my room right now are just other posters for other 80s action movies Lucas hasn't seen.
Yes, and, I not long ago watched RoboCop for the first time with you. I recently, as you say, watched First Blood for the first time and did a video on that.
I've got one for First Blood, one sec. Well, the one for First Blood is above my sofa. Wait, that's that one. That's one for First Blood. And then you've not seen Rocky, have you?
I've not.
Okay, so I've got one for Rocky 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then...
Carl's getting props.
Well, not props. You also got a prop. I've got a prop like it's a book, but we can't share that until we get to the thing. But yeah, if you want Lucas, hey, wait, go watch these movies from the 80s so you and Karl can talk about them in a video. Well, go check out Wiki Weekends and subscribe to the Patreon if you'd like to support that new venture.
I will make sure this month that I put Predator as one of the options to cover.
And Lucas, even though you've not watched the film, you are, via pop culture osmosis, familiar with the broad themes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And you know the main thing is that Arnold Schwarzenegger, as the character of Dutch Schaefer, kicks the ever-loving fuck out of a giant 8-foot-tall alien hunter, right?
Yeah, and I am also aware that, in my opinion, the Predator, like the Yautja, are way cooler with like their cool hunting masks on.
The moment that mask comes off, I get it. It is an interesting design, but I do think the Predator looks way cooler when it's wearing the mask.
The mandibles are indeed scary, but I do think they look way cooler with the mask.
Yes, I also like as well it has a very distinct silhouette, like it has like the dreadlocks. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but I think just fans of Predator call it, it's got dreadlocks, right?
Essentially, yeah.
It just does have a very interesting, unique silhouette. And while the original film ends somewhat definitively with Dutch surviving and escaping in a helicopter, or should I say, a chopper, which he definitely gets to, like, it's not like you can just step back into civilian life after beating a 300-pound, 8-foot-tall alien to death with a log, right? That's not the kind of thing that you can just ignore. There is going to be some questions about what happened to Dutch's team and why a quantifiable percentage of the jungle they were in is now an irradiated just mound of dirt. And the closest we've really gotten to any reference about what Arnold Schwarzenegger did after the fact is they mention in like Predator 2, like the incident where the first Predator was encountered. Then there's a few scant references to him in books, one of which I own, which is Predator Cold War, which is where there's a Predator in the middle of the Antarctic. And they talk about this like classified mission involving one Dutch Schaefer, where Dutch Schaefer kicked the fuck out of the Predator so hard he basically became a legend on their home planet. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because when you are this effectively invincible alien race of hunters who can, stand toe-to-toe with a xenomorph, and you find out that one of your best hunters went to Earth and then a man with a stick emerged from the mud and beat it to death and ran off into the jungle. That shit's going to cause some legends. That's going to stand out on a report, right?
What the hell are you?
So you're telling me Dutch, the character, has never appeared in another movie?
No, he gets referenced, and then in novels he gets referenced in some of the games as well.
What? That's
I think
wild,
in the Alien versus Predator, the side-scrolling beat 'em up, one of the characters you play as is either a descendant of Dutch or Dutch with a robot arm. I don't quite recall, but in terms of the core canon established by the movies, Dutch has never reappeared. And as mentioned in the intro, the weirdest part about this is the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to come back to fight more Predators. It's just the studios don't seem to be able to agree on exactly how that should happen. For example, for Predator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger was reportedly this close to reprising his role as Dutch Schaefer and coming back to team up with Danny Glover to kick the fuck out of another Predator in a city this time.
Fuck you!
So, Karl, I've got a bit of a pitch for you of the way that they do this, right? Okay. Is they make Alien versus Predator versus Terminator, And then what they say is that the T-800 was based on the guy that beat the Predators.
I want to say there's a comic where that happens.
That sounds like about right, yeah.
Because there's a lot of like crossover comics with the Alien and the Predator. For example, there's one where it's like the Alien gets Superman. And Superman is like, he has a xenomorph in his chest and there's no yellow sun. So he's at risk of, like, you know, having a chest burster explode out, and then they'll have a chest burster with Superman powers, which is terrifying. And I don't remember, because I read it when I was like 11 and into, like, you know, those edgy graphic novels, like when, I found Starship Troopers, and here's one where Superman fights an alien. I distinctly recall the ending is Superman goes out into space, gets the yellow sun energy, and spits out the chest burster. But I would not be surprised if there is one where there's a Terminator fighting the aliens, and if there is, here's like a picture of the front cover. Presumably Dark Horse Comics must have dealt with that at some point.
It would just make too much sense, right?
It would make too much sense. Yeah, I know, like, for example, the Terminator has fought RoboCop. And then there's one where like, Batman fights RoboCop. And then there's one where the aliens and the Predators have been fighting in shit for decades. And there's been stuff where there's been crossovers with crossovers. Those Dark Horse comics tend to suck, as do these novels. The reason I own this is because I collect bad movie tie-in novels. For example, I own the novelization of Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Yeah.
I also own the novelization of the Cowboy Bebop Netflix show.
Oh no!
See, that's the kind of shit wait, if it sucks, why do you own it? I specifically like collecting bad tie-in merchandise, so I have, like, this book because it sucks. I also have a bunch of, like, the Alien books as well, which also vary in quality from it sucks to it's fine.
God.
But yeah, I own the Cowboy Bebop Netflix show novelization. Do you know why? People saying, why the fuck do you own this?
Do you own the novelization of Halo, the TV show, yet?
No. But I do have a bunch of the Halo novels. And they're pretty good. They're pretty decent, as are the Gears of War ones and the Mass Effect ones.
True.
But I'm a big fan of, like, Joe, like, why does this exist? And one of the ones that I saw is the Netflix Cowboy Bebop show. Just because, like, no one watched that fucking adaptation anyway. And I guarantee you no one read that fucking book. But bring it back to Predator. In Predator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger was reportedly this fucking close to reprising his role. And Lucas, would you like to hazard a guess at why the deal fell through? I'll give you a clue. Hollywood.
I'm guessing it was just that he was contractually obligated to another movie.
No, he was asking for too much money. And you might think, okay, how much money was Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s, post-Predator, post-Terminator, asking for that the studio balked at? The answer? As a guess, how much would you think would be too much money? For Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s to reprise one of his most famous roles.
Bearing in mind the fact that one of the other Fat Fiend videos we made was that he got paid in jets.
Yes. So for Terminator 2, he got given a $20 million jet as a bonus, so he didn't ask for points on the back end for Terminator 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's something even like higher than 20 million, like 50 million.
$250,000.
Wait.
Yeah, $250,000. He was willing to do it for $250,000 because his role wasn't the main character. He would have been a side character helping Danny Glover. And they thought, well, $250,000 for a side character, even though said side character is Arnold Schwarzenegger, was too much. So they replaced his character with Gary Busey.
Otherworld life forms. Huh? A fucking alien.
Jesus fucking
So Gary
Christ.
Busey's character in Predator 2 was meant to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Gary fucking Busey instead of Arnold.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They're the same character, essentially. And then moving further on, we have the film Predators, in which Arnold Schwarzenegger was also meant to have a cameo. However, again, this didn't really work out. We'd like to hazard a guess this time at what happened. And again, I'll give you the clue of it's Hollywood. It's the usual Hollywood excuse. You almost got it with your previous guess.
Okay, so something to do with a contract.
It was a scheduling conflict. And the studio were unwilling to work around Arnold Schwarzenegger's schedule, even though he was fully willing to be in the movie for a cameo as Dutch, but they just had to work around his schedule. And here's the thing, Lucas. Okay, what was he doing? Well, at the time, he was the governor of California. And here's the thing, I would have worked around his schedule just to say we got the governor of California in the movie. right? You just think, not only is he reprising his role, it's also the fact that he reprised it while also serving in office, which just gives you a really great bit of marketing for that film, right?
And they should have totally made his character like governor or president or something like that.
They could have done, yeah. They could have had they could have had fun with that, but no, they were unwilling to work around his schedule. So said, fuck it, and replaced him with Lawrence Fishburne.
What the fuck are you? I'm alive.
Which, you know what? I'm fine with him being replaced by Lawrence Fishburne, because Lawrence Fishburne's character is the one who lives on the Predator planet. Like, they find a guy who's been trapped on the Predator planet and has survived there for a couple of years. That was going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch, who got kidnapped on the Predator planet, and he's just living there in the wild, killing predators.
I think Lawrence Fishburne is a more acceptable replacement for Arnold than Gary Busey.
Than Gary Busey. I would only accept Gary Busey if he got as in shape as Arnold Schwarzenegger did. And then we have like the last modern Predator film, simply titled The Predator, in which Arnold Schwarzenegger was once again going to have a cameo. However, the studio this time didn't want to put him in the film because Arnold Schwarzenegger read the script and told him that it sucks. And here's the thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger knows some shit scripts. He's been in enough of them. They decided to go right ahead with the script that they had, not have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and that film fucking sucks.
As you say, at this point, when you had written this script in 2020, like, the Predator franchise had been on the down for a while.
Yeah, this is after like Alien vs Predator Requiem, which is not a bad film, or at least I guess it is a okay film. I don't know. I couldn't see what was happening because Alien vs Predator Requiem is infamously one of the darkest movies ever made. Like literally, you cannot see what's going on because the guy who directed it was a special effects supervisor, and he didn't know what lighting was. He didn't know how to do lighting for the screen. So here's like a shot from the film. And you've not seen it, Lucas, but do you know like that episode of Game of Thrones, everyone's like, I can't see what's going on? That's the entire movie. And keep in mind as well, what colour are aliens?
I mean, black.
They're jet black. Now imagine there's like 40 jet black aliens running around to fight a predator. And what do predators do, Lucas?
They go invisible and hide.
Yeah, they turn invisible. So you've got an invisible alien fighting another alien that is jet black in the dark with no lighting. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And The Predator is a really interesting film because that's the one where it had to undergo a near total rewrite. And they had scenes of predators driving tanks teaming up with soldiers that got cut out of the movie to make it like a vehicle for like Keegan-Michael Key and Thomas Jane, who were like the heroes. And then a key plotline in the film is that the predators are kidnapping children with autism because autism is a superpower. Do you know that shitty Hollywood trope of autism gives you superpowers? They're trying to kidnap autistic children to give them, like, predator superpowers. Also, speaking of predators, there was a sex predator in one of the scenes that they had to cut out, but the scene that they were in was the introduction scene to, I believe it was Olivia Munn's character.
Sure, hey! Oh, I told you she'd grab it. $10, fair. Woo!
Like it.
Okay, sure, you cut that out, but that scene that they cut out was the introduction of one of the main characters. So they just turn up, start talking as if everyone knows who they are, because they just cut the scene where they were introduced wholesale.
Incredible.
And the ending of the film is, after they've beaten a couple of predators, there's a pod, this mysterious pod. And they're trying to decipher the predator language, and it says, well, this pod contains a predator killer.
Rory, what's in that pod?
Don't know. Oh, wow. Oh, shit! It's got a name!
Name? What name?
I guess you'd call it the Predator Killer.
And it opens up, and a watch flies out, and it turns the guy into a CGI robot.
I assume it needs to be.
And would you like to hazard a guess at what the pod was initially supposed to contain? Considering that the line in the film is, this contains the one thing the predators are scared of. It's the only thing known to be able to kill a predator. And it's a human-sized pod.
But if it's a human-sized pod, then Arnold wouldn't have fit inside, Karl.
It was, okay, slightly above average-sized human pod. But it would have been Arnold Schwarzenegger wearing a bunch of predator shit. And he's like, no, but the script fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, we're not fixing it. And he's like, okay, have your shit movie then. And do you know what makes it even funnier? Even funnier, before Arnold Schwarzenegger turned it down, they also approached Sigourney Weaver. It might have opened, jokes like Alien vs. Predator's a thing, and it may have contained Sigourney Weaver, but she also turned it down. So instead, they were going to have Ellen Ripley played by some random lady, not show her face, and just have it open up and show the name tag saying Ellen Ripley.
Oh god, no.
And the thing is, both of those ideas sound great, and the fact that they couldn't convince the actors to reprise their role, considering that Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, starred in Alien Resurrection and Alien 3, and she said the script sucks, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, who appeared in Junior, and all the nonsense he appeared in, said the script sucks. They're like, no, let's go.
Man. And we mentioned Halo earlier. It kind of reminds me, at the end of Halo Reach, if you do I think it's only specifically the legendary ending, where you see that, the thing that you were fighting for to go and pick up is the, stasis chamber for Master Chief. Imagine if it was just random generic Spartan instead.
You open it up and it's just a gun. That's the equivalent of what this movie is. It's like they open it up and it's like, this is the only thing that can kill an elite, and it's just a fucking beam rifle or something like that. But it's not all bad though, because there's also the game Predator Hunting Grounds, which isn't fantastic by any stretch of the imagination, but as a fan of the series, it's kind of interesting, because Arnold Schwarzenegger reprised his role as Dutch Schaefer in the form of a bunch of audio logs you can pick up in the game.
U.S. Army veteran, Special Ops Commander, and the only survivor of the Valverde incident. These tapes are my personal testimony. I'm not dead yet. My name is Dutch, and this is my story.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
And when Arnold Schwarzenegger was asked presumably they paid him. He was like, they paid me, not really that much, not as much as I could ask for. So, well, why did you do it then? It's like, well, I like Dutch as a character, and I've not had an opportunity to do this, and I've wanted to for years. That's the thing.
It's wild that he's wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wanted to do it and was willing to take, a pay cut to do so. He just wanted the movie to either be good or for his role to be substantial enough to warrant his time. And every time he offered, they're like, no. To the point where he's like, okay, fine, I'll just do it in a game for almost no money. Just because I like the character and people like the character and it'd be fun to reprise the role. Fuck it.
That's absolutely insane.
It's great, right?
Why would you turn down Arnold?
It's more the fact he wanted to do it. It's like, no, we've got a way better idea, Gary Busey. Oh, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Go check out Wiki Weekends, and of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. We'll see you all next time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Predator. Do you want me to read the back? Let's read the back. Over the icy Siberian waste, something falls from the sky. Soon, decapitated villagers, soldiers, and oil workers litter the snow. The Russian authorities are baffled, but deep within the Pentagon in Washington, USA, data from secret satellites proves the predators are back. A crack team of experts is sent to Siberia to bring back the crashed alien spaceship that brought the predators to Earth, along with their unique technology. Press ganged into accompanying them is Detective Schaefer of the NYPD, the only man on Earth with first-hand knowledge of the predators, so he's Arnold Schwarzenegger's brother. He's about to face his second close encounter with the Scourge of the Universe. And actually, I can't remember if he might actually be Dutch Schaefer. He's either Dutch Schaefer or Dutch Schaefer's brother. It's been years since I read this. And there's a line in the book where he takes his shirt off and they say he's ripped as all balls. He would make Mr. Olympia proud, which is like a nod to Arnold Schwarzenegger's role. And it is me. Yeah, it's Dark Horse who did it, because of course it fucking is. They do all the shit Predator stuff. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.